round of the season. Tonight we've got in yellow, Curtin University, and in white, NTC from West Australia. Our referee tonight, Jessica Bird, assisted by Aldi and Ahmed Husani. I'd also like to welcome some of the officials at our match tonight. We have CEO of Football List, Sheriff Andrews. Welcome to our first game of the season. Let me quickly introduce to you the Curtin team.
Good evening and welcome to Edinburgh Oval for an important night for women's football here in the West as Curtin University hosts the NTC under Friday night lights in the season opener of the inaugural Women's NPL. Thanks for joining me, Tommy Dolman, this evening after what's been a special week or two for the women's game after the announcement of the 2023 Women's World Cup the week before last. Follows a backing of football by the state government with a new home for the sport seemingly on the way at last. And whilst many teams have battled through the recent COVID period, there does appear to be some light at the end of the tunnel for the game here. And that starts tonight as the players get back on the pitch.
NTC, number 11, Abby Green, number 5, Cameron Pereira.
Teams just gathering in their pre-game huddles. Mild night in the south of Perth. A little south of the city centre. And a beautifully lit oval for us to get some football viewing in tonight. Decent crowding as well on what is a fairly chilly evening. This, of course, is the first match of the NPLW here in Western Australia. It's a new page turned for the top level of women's football in the state, and a competition which we all hope and suspect will gain momentum as we work towards 2023. So the hiatus is over for now. It's great to see footballers back on the pitch, isn't it? And it's a privilege to bring you round one action from Edinburgh Oval on this special occasion. Curtin University and the NTC, Friday night lights at the campus. And we're on the way with Curtin University playing in their orange shirts and black shorts, and the NTC wearing their changed all-white kit. As Curtin make a break down the left-hand side early, cross was aimed towards the penalty spot but drifted behind the goal, and the NTC will get a settling goal kick nice and early. Miranda Templeman in goal for this very strong NTC side tonight. Goal kick drifted wide of Barrero. And overtaking the throw in for Curtin is Hannah Taylor. So Taylor on this right hand side. She'll go long up the line. The flick on was by Nina Borman, but offside flag was raised on this near touch line. In fact, seems as though a foul was given. So free kick for Curtin. 4 players in the box. One of them, Penelope Clayton, plenty of movement. It's towards the penalty spot. The headers away is a good one. Still alive here for Curtin if they can get their feet around it. DeMargo Plays the ball back for Campos, and she looks to return the ball through for DeMargo, but that drifted beyond the touchline, and the NTC will get another goal kick. So territory very much Curtin University's in these opening stages. NTC looking to play out from the back as they did in that night series final, but it's good closing down from Curtin, and in particular Natasha Smith, the skipper, over on that left-hand side, and she'll go and grab the ball for the throw-in. Ball was through, looking for Borman at the back post. Still there and alive for Curtin if they want it. Now Green will look to hold up possession and go back, and Walsh will use a goalkeeper Templeman. Clearance was intercepted well by Dudek. And now Borman again, who's looked lively on that right-hand side so far. Touch just escapes her though, and once again the NTC will have possession in their defensive half. It's been down there a lot in these opening stages. Green couldn't come away with the ball. Ball slightly escapes Ilias, and now McKenna will play all the way back for Walsh, who skips past their opposite marker, Barrero. Ball inside for McKenna, who looks to spread the play, and now a lovely switch of the play here. Should release Green on this left-hand side. She can keep it alive, but couldn't quite dig out that cross. Under pressure from the home side. A full back there. First real shades of intent that we've seen from the visitors in this game, but it was good defending there from Hannah Taylor, who made sure the cross didn't come into the area. Curtin University, of course, one of two new clubs to have been given a NPL license in season 2020. Didn't have a women's team in the Premier League in 2019, but they did have representation in the leagues below, and they are building a very good academy here by the campus. Very much two teams who really do look to develop their players in the right way. Ball forward was an optimistic one. No chance of Gonzalez getting on the end of that one, and the pass just evaded Borman. Green. Last touch was off Taylor there, and Barrero will trot over to take the free kick. Connolly looks to make a move, playing a little more advanced than she did in the NPL Night Series final. Judy Connolly, the only NTC player on that night to collect a yellow card. In fact, very hard-working player in that engine room. Here she is now, laying off for Barrero. Lovely pass forward, looking for T.R. McKenna, but touch just escaped her on that occasion. And now after Curtin had the ball in their attacking area early on, it looks as though the NTC are settling into the game and looking to maintain a bit of possession as McAllister spreads the play wide. I think it's Prinsloo on that far side who couldn't reel in the pass. Throw-in is quickly taken by Smith, looking for Gonzalez. Involved there is Jessica DeMargo on that far side once more. Plenty of people under the small terrace on that far side. Not a cloud in the sky. It's a perfect night for football. No conditions to affect the way which the ball spins anyway, that's for sure. Offside flag up here against DeMargo, who went just a little bit too early. Although in saying that, as I touched on in the pre-game, it is rather chilly tonight. Of course, the COVID shutdown means we do restart the season pretty much smack bang in the middle of winter. I'm sure it's a welcome change for the men and the women, not having to start the season in the 30-degree heat that we're usually accustomed to in round one. Here's Walsh. McKenna. Lovely ball here, looking for the run of Green. Taylor's matching her for pace so far. Green takes a good touch. Taylor loses her footing. Green could still come up with this one, and good cover from the central defender there in Rebecca Dudek ensured that that cross was not going into the middle. Instead, the home team will have to defend a set piece. Corner's whipped in towards the edge of the area. Not the most convincing of headers initially, but they found a teammate nevertheless in Gonzalez, and now giving away the ball there was Ilias. Teammates did get her out of jail. That was the NTC. Look to move forward. Wonderful play there by DeMargo, who will try and get the better of Prinsloo, I think that is, on that right-hand side, but no luck on that occasion as NTC look to try and build back into a little bit of possession. A 3-0 defeat in that night series final, of course, in March, a couple of weeks before the season was originally meant to begin. Very good performance from Fremantle City on that day. Now, ball's gone three here, looking for the run of DeMargo. Flags up, though. Ball was put into the net, but the referee's flag was up fairly early on that near side. A few cheers from the Curtin supporters on that far side, who perhaps disagreed with the call. Nothing much more than that made of it, though, but that was a lovely releasing pass there. I think it was from Gonzalez, and her and Jessica DeMargo do look to have a pretty good connection in these opening 10 minutes or so. But now the NTC come forward as Green's cross is close to the keeper, and in fact that'll drift out for a goal kick. Goals from Isabel Bridger, Gemma Crane and Jamie Lee Smith in that night series final, of course. A historic double header on that night with the women playing before the men. Great night, great crowd at Inglewood United on that evening. And no doubt a real statement that the potential of the women's game here does have a following and does have an interest, and should really start to gain some momentum leading into the years coming up to 2023. Corner kick here for the home side, who have plenty of numbers forward, but short corner was looking for Gonzalez there, and out and intercepting nice and early was Prinsloo there. Tian McKenna tried to win possession legally, didn't do so according to the the referee, and Curtin will once again get a set piece in a pretty similar position to where they took the preceding set piece a moment or two ago. Wonder if they'll try and put this one into the mixer a little more this time. Plenty of players forward, including Borman. It's taken towards the near post, and Templeman had to be alert there as Gonzalez's free kick was whipped into that near post, and now NTC can come away as McKenna releases Prinsloo to strike, and shot was aimed towards that top corner at the near post, but drifting wide of the upright and not threatening the goal of Stacey Cavill. Taylor took her eye off the ball for a moment. Barrero will look to get the ball moving quickly. This time, Green's touch was a little heavy, and Curtin will win possession back. So both these teams just feeling each other out at the moment. Good pass to release DeMargo earlier for Curtin, and Prinsloo a moment ago, of course, just flashing that one over the bar. Wallhead, Walsh, dispossessed there by Gonzalez, and now Borman will look for the run forward to release. DeMargo, who'll try and get the better of her opponent here. Shot eventually came in from the supporting Natasha Smith and deflected behind for yet another corner, which will be taken by Taina Campos. Enterprising stuff from both teams so far. Curtin, of course, winless in the night series alongside the NTC's run to the final, but very much an even start to this one as Campos's ball comes in. It's gone through everybody in the end. The goalkeeper didn't get a glove on that, and neither did a defender get a head on it either. Taylor does really well to halt progress of Letitia McKenna there. And this is what we did see in that night series final. McKenna's ball looks like a really good one. It just evades the run of Abby Green, though. Two players linking up there who have represented the Matildas, of course, and there's a real splashing of Matildas and young Matildas and junior Matildas talent in this NTC side, of course, in the form of Letitia McKenna and Abby Green and Isabel Wallhead. DeMargo is off side again. Referee's not seen the flag just yet. She acknowledges it eventually. Play broke down in any case there for Curtin, but DeMargo's been very quick on that last line early on, and now Barrero's ball will look for the run of Connolly, but that's good goalkeeping from Cavill to read the play, and the early kick was looking for DeMargo. Again, cruel bounce in front of the forward, and that's good tidying up there from Cargill Fletcher. Prinsloo nips in and steals possession there off Smith. Early ball into the middle. Green is arriving in the centre. Couldn't quite bring it under control, though, and once again Cargill was there to make sure the NTC couldn't get that shot on target. Very experienced goalkeeper, of course, Stacey Cavill. 6 international caps with the Philippines women's national team. Did sign in January with a view to getting the season started in March once her commitments with the Perth Glory in the W League had ended, and also a stint in the US with the NSU Wolves as well. So a very handy member of this Curtin University defence, providing some experience to this young side. Campos lurking on the edge of that area, looking to close down the NTC once more. But this has been a good start by the home side in front of their fans. McKenna. Green. Pass intercepted. Curtin deciding to play back, and the clearance went straight to McKenna, who fed Green. McKenna did receive possession back. Appeals for a foul there from the NTC. No foul warranted. It was a good challenge there, I think, back there from the retreating Dudek, and now Ilias should have time to bring this down. Couldn't quite get the pass through the lines of the NTC, who had pressed up well, and now giving chase to this one is Tian McKenna, but that'll run through to Cavill once more. Good composure there from Templeman. The pass a little wayward, and now they've got to clear this, because entering the penalty area there, the first goal of the NPLW season. And it's Jess DeMargo. Well, the NTC played themselves into trouble at the back there. Lack of communication between defender and goalkeeper, and arriving on the scene there, I think, was DeMargo. And the NTC respond here. They'll be a little disappointed to give away a goal like that of their own making, but give credit to Curtin, who've started this game with a real good tempo about them and a real good pressing intent thus far. Walsh looks to skip away there, but once again, possession turned over fairly cheaply, and Wallhead has to come across and deal with that once more. So Morrison Dean's got his Curtin University side pressing really well here. 4th season of coaching at the club, of course. Previously coached the State League women's team, but has earned the promotion to the NPL level off the back of some good work in the State League. As Connolly holds up possession well, Walsh, Wallhead, back to Templeman. And now Walsh once more, Barrero. Ball forward was a stinger into the feet of Connolly, who couldn't bring that under control. And once again, Curtin emerged with possession here. Lovely turn here from Gonzalez. McKenna dispossessed in midfield there by Penelope Clayson, and now DeMargo has the ball at feet once more. Cargill Fletcher slid in there and one possession. And the NTC seems to be getting the ball into these midfield areas. I thought that was a high boot there from Connolly, possibly. I think that is there. It was, and free kick is paid by the referee, so free kick in a good position here for Curtin once more. Dangerous set piece into the near post before the goal. This one a lot more central. Taylor was just down with what looked to be a little bit of cramp before. Back to her feet now. We'll just wait to see what's happening here. It looks as though Taylor is walking towards the bench. I'm not sure if she's just going to get some medical attention initially or whether she'll be replaced. She is walking off the pitch with a bit of a limp. And it does look like an early substitute will be made. So it's unfortunate for Taylor, who'd acquitted herself pretty well early on against the pace of the dangerous Abby Green in that right back position. She'll be replaced by Kate McDermott as a free kick is headed away by Barrero. Dudek will look to launch that one forward once more. She's once again involved in a 50-50. Green steals in the ball, comes back to Dudek once more. Lovely ball tickled through by Gomez. McDermott, first touch of the game. It's a good ball, in fact. It's looking for the run of Borman. Walsh looks to have the pace advantage, though, and speed does get her first in the end. Green, lovely little touch around the corner, but that was read well by Campos and put into touch in no-nonsense fashion. So a very bold and surprising beginning from the home team. I heard the crowd just down below us encouraging them to keep up the press. It's worked really well for them so far, pressuring the NTC, who we do know love to play the ball out from the back. It's just going to be, of course, whether they can keep up the tempo for 90 minutes, of course. Last touch there was off Tian McKenna. And it will be a secondary throw-in again for Curtin. So the throws from McDermott. Connolly does really well to hold the ball up there. That's good centre forward play there from the NTC's number 12. But once again, it's given away in a pretty sloppy fashion there from Prinsloo, who did get to her feet, and the pressure's on Templeman once again, who's getting chased by Gonzalez, and in the end Templeman manages to temporarily find an opponent, or a teammate should I say, out on that wing now. Space in the area once more for Gonzalez, who's twisting, turning, and Walsh has to come across and put that into touch. So once again the NTC are putting themselves into a position of problem. Walsh's clearance. Ball will come out now to Campos, who tried to dart between two defenders. Didn't quite get the luck on that occasion. Ball comes out to McDermott, whose touch was just heavy enough to allow Green to slip in, and now Green can dart down this left-hand side. Inside, Hershey's got Connolly, and now the ball will come one further. Shot came in, I think, from Prinsloo. It'll now break to Abby. Green in the area. Great save, Cavill. There was a little bit of luck in the way the ball came to her in the end, but when the ball did reach her, Green did force Cavill into a sharp low save. It was McKenna, apologies, with that initial shot. Green's corner towards the edge of the area again. It might come back to the winger once more. Smith. Ball forward there, looking for Clayton. Last touch was off the Curtin player, and out for a throw-in it goes on that far side. Cargill Fletcher, number 14 at right back, will take this throw-in. Wallhead under pressure does well to get some distance on that clearance. Tian McKenna makes light work of her opposite marker, and her last touch was off her. Unfortunately for her, Tian McKenna, Coburn City Junior. Another of these players that has represented the Matildas. Turned out for them at the 2019 AFC Under-16s Women's Championships. Campos. Flick over the top, appeals for a free kick. Duly awarded. Curtin University bench up off their feet, asking the question. Campos now back to her feet. So free kick in a good position for Curtin here. Borman Gonzalez. McDermott approaching the edge of the area as well. It's a good effort from the dead ball, looking to creep that into the near post, and in the end Campos couldn't quite sneak it past Templeman, who rolls short once more to Walsh. Barrero. NTC have definitely had most of their joy down this left-hand side thus far, as Green skips inside, does really well. She continues on, Green. This is going to be a wonderful goal if she can get to it, but Cavill once again was quick off her line, and perhaps the final touch from Green was a little heavy, but wonderful build-up play nevertheless by the winger. She's definitely looked the NTC's brightest player on this left-hand side so far, and now DeMargo will look to put the pressure on Wallhead. Clearing ball up the line. Will give possession back to the home side. Cargill Fletcher, Prinsloo. Ball inside is a good one, looking for McKenna. Toe on it was looking for the run of Connolly, I'm sure, but I don't think Usain Bolt would have even got on the end of that one. Green, Connolly, McAllister, Cargill Fletcher, Tian McKenna. Challenge there from Natasha Smith was a little over-enthusiastic. Now the NTC will look to get a ball forward and try and conjure up an equaliser. It's a skidder into the area that took a very high bounce off the turf. Ran through to Green in the end. Can Letitia McKenna get there first? She can. Links up with Tian McKenna. And now it's Letitia McKenna from distance. Blocked there by Dudek. They're still alive here for the NTC if they want to recycle possession. Prinsloo provides the width, but a pass from Cargill Fletcher was a little off the mark. And that's been the story of the NTC's night so far. When they have got the ball to feet consistently, they've looked very good and very sharp in possession, but often that final releasing pass just hasn't quite been there. Now Barrero. Green looks to skip inside, but Borman is back and tracking really well. Clearance was a little off though. Barrero can try and intercept that one, but the ricochet came off her last, and a settling goal kick once more for Curtin. Great pass there from DeMargo, and now the next ball inside finds the run of Clayton, who'll continue to battle hard, but that was a lovely move there with DeMargo. Smith and Clayton down that left-hand side, 13, 14 and 15. Nice symmetry in terms of the numbers there, and now Clayton will win the flick on for Borman, and now the strike comes in. but it's high and wayward from Campos on this occasion. Just couldn't quite get ahead over the ball, and the referees decided to call for a new football rather than wait for the one behind the goal to come back. Obviously being a tough time for plenty of the clubs throughout the state during this COVID-19 break that we've had. We are in fact quite lucky to be playing football at this stage and getting our competitions back up and running here in the West. Flag is up from the linesman. I think that may have been a foul throw from Campos there. It was. Trying to play their way out once more. Curtin, of course, one of the more affected teams, in keeping with what I was saying before, due to the COVID break. But speaking to beyond90.com.au earlier, the head coach Morrison Dean said they did fare well in keeping up to speed with how quickly the landscape changed, and didn't know that the strength and conditioning coaches were very busy, and they've certainly played with great intensity so far as the shot comes in from Campos, and it's straight down the throat of Templeman on that occasion. But once again, Curtin carving out chances so far. And this has been a very impressive start from the side that only managed to score one goal in the 3-night series group games that they did play. That's a cracking ball from McKenna looking for Prinsloo. Smith was aware of her opponent and got there in the nick of time. Lovely wrong raking pass there from Tian McKenna to pick out her winger. So Curtin University 1, NTC 0. Jessica DeMargo's goal is the only one thus far, and once again she's making moves in to the penalty area. Didn't quite fall the way of Gonzalez though, as the ball was cleared by the NTC, and now they'll look to counter as McKenna's pass releases Prinsloo. Cross was attempted and blocked and put behind for a corner. It was in fact McAllister who sprayed that long ball, and I think this might be Natasha Smith, the skipper, who's stayed down on that far side after charging down that Prinsloo cross. So trainer is waved on, and hard to really get a gauge on what's happening from our vantage point. Have already, of course, lost Hannah Taylor tonight. Have the home side. They'd hate to lose another player. Thankfully back to her feet now, as the NTC did try and skip over to get a quick drinks break. They were a little too slow on the uptake there though, and instead they'll be forced to take the set piece. Round of applause there. Poor Smith as she goes to halfway cross. Will come into the area. bobbling around in the box, and the clearance was affected by Borman. Smith waiting to be waved back on that far side. She's left that left spot vacant for the moment. Prinsloo's out there all on her own. She'll run back on now, Smith, and get back in position. Meanwhile, Tian McKenna will skip away from an opponent. She'll use Cargill Fletcher at full back. Touch. Well, she tried to get the touch on, and in the end, the driving cross goes across the 6-yard box, and Green arrived a little late on the scene, but so close to an opportunity being carved out for the NTC, as Cargill Fletcher got a little bit of luck as the ball ricocheted back to her, and a teasing cross across that 6-yard box too far away from Cavill to grab, and not quite close enough to Green as she entered the area with intent. Pass from Dudek, a little wide of McDermott. Borman. Clayton. Smith. Intercepted here by McKenna. Ball inside, was looking for the run of Connolly and cut out well by Smith on the recovery, who gets that down the line as far as possible, encourages her team to press up. There may have been appeals for handball possibly on that far side. Nothing doing. The play will continue as Dudek looks for McDermott. She's got Dudek still there in support. Pass a little short there. And now Tian McKenna will come into the area. She's got Prinsloo and Connolly awaiting McAllister. And the shot was straight into the grateful arms of Cavill once more, who's been quite busy in this first half up at that left-hand side of your screen. Barrero's ball forward, looking for Connolly. Well defended by centre half there, Van Heurk. Wallhead. Barrero. Pass was perfectly weighted for Green, who was onside there. And now the cross is a dangerous one once again, but Cavell has been in the right place at the right time thus far, using that international experience to be aware of those crosses coming in, and the release looks dangerous once more, but that'll skip off the dewy surface. Barrero, Green, Tian McKenna. Spreading the play for Cargill Fletcher. And now Prinsloo wider still. Can she hook a cross back into the area? She can, but Van Heurk will clear away. NTC coach Ben Anderton telling Football West earlier today that his girls are a development side, but winning just important. Winning mentality is something they need to develop if a lot of these talented players are to continue to grow, but they've got a bit of work to do in this second half as they trail by 1-0 after 45 minutes here at Edinburgh Oval. The only goal of the game scored by Jessica DeMargo. Miscommunication between goalkeeper and defender at the back, and DeMargo stole in and poked the ball past Templeman. And that's the decisive goal so far. The best chance for the NTC did come through Abby Green as she skipped into the area and shot straight at Cavill, who's been busy in this first half, but at the break it's the hosts who lead by a goal to nil. We'll be back in 10 or 15 minutes for the second half.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back to Edinburgh Oval for the season opener of the NPLW, the women's top division in WA. Jessica DeMargo's goal midway through the first half. The difference between the teams so far is Curtin lead the NTC by a goal to nil. The NTC will get us restarted, and the ball skipped off the turf really quickly there away from Prinsloo. Curtin did say during the week to Football West that they did want to create a college vibe about the place. There's a great crowd in attendance tonight. There's some cheerleaders at half-time, and a nice touch as well as Mick Philp, who stepped down from the men's NPL team, or the men's state league side, should I say. Stepped down after 18 years with the club. Garrett McDouling and Tim Cash will take over. Dangerous passer across the back there from Walsh. It just about found Wallhead, and now McKenna will play wide for Cargill Fletcher, who'll get on her bike and race down the wing. She ran into Connolly though, and now wide open there was Clayton. She tried to find DeMargo, but touch wide was a little heavy, and out that went for a free kick. Connolly. Raking ball forward through the middle, where is looking for Prinsloo, who probably keep this one alive. Cross into the middle came from the skipper there, McKenna, who had her cross cleared away. Now Tian McKenna goes all the way back to Cargill Fletcher. Van Herk. Tian McKenna, really good at the base of that midfield this evening. Cargill Fletcher. Letitia McKenna. Driving forward, run on her outside is from Prinsloo, who's got two in the middle. One of them's Connolly, who lets it run through her legs, and in the end it came off a Curtin body last, and out it went for a corner. Substitute was made by the NTC at half-time. Hannah Lowry has entered the fray, and she'll go over now to take that corner. We'll try and get confirmation for you as to who she replaced. There's the left-footed Lowry, who'll swing this in. It's fairly deep. It's a good corner, and it's headed in at the back post. Equaliser for the NTC. Just what the NTC needed, a equalising goal early in the second half. And I think it was Cameron Barrero at that back post. In fact, it was Isabel Wallhead who was at the back post there alongside Barrero. Two of them were converging on that deep ball in by Lowry, and now NTC certainly have their tails up. Lowry already adding a little bit of pace into that midfield. Connolly turns, ball escapes her, picked up by Tian McKenna. Dudek lets that run all the way back for Cavill. Off the shoulder of Cargill, Fletcher, DeMargo, the goal scorer, lets that run for Smith. And now Campos will strike from range and will find the far corner. Tainer Campos with a bullet from distance, and the home team respond quickly. Curtin University 2, NTC 1.
Second goal for Curtin, scored by number 10, Letitia McKenna.
Well, just as the NTC had equalised, the home team go up the other end and take the lead in quick fashion. Ball broke nicely to Campos on the edge of the area. She took a pot shot, hit it sweetly, and it found the bottom corner. Templeman completely unsighted as it arrowed towards that bottom corner. And even if she was in the right place there, she would have found it difficult to keep that one out. A little off a line perhaps, but that was a wonderful goal from Campos there. And now Curtin seem to have found their verve once more as they press the NTC as they did in the first half. And Cargill Fletcher's ball releases Prinsloo off the head of Van Urk there, who put her body on the line to get in the way of that one. And it'll be another corner now. Remember last time the NCC had a corner, they managed to score an equalising goal. Can they do that again in quick succession? Once again, Wallhead works her way towards that back post. And once again, it'll go in that direction again. She does get her header to it, Wallhead, and nervous moments there for the Curtin defence as it looped above the net, but Cavill looked to have that pretty well covered. So 2 quick goals to start this second half. And this time Cavill plays short for Dudek, who'll look for Borman on that right-hand side. She does well to retain possession initially, but it's quickly snapped up by the NTC in midfield. Green on that far side just couldn't keep that one alive. Confirmation that it was Daisy McAllister who made way for Hannah Lowry, who provided the assist for the equaliser. Cargill Fletcher. Prinsloo. Pacey down that right-hand side once more. Sliding in there was Smith, and she got the ball. Aggressive challenge from the skipper, but it was a good one. And a third successive in-swinging corner of the half for the NTC. Wearing their all-white kit, of course. And once again, it's deep and towards that back post. Hooked back in by Wallhead. The header comes in from Prinsloo, who was lurking on the edge of the 6-yard area, but Cavill was in the right place at the right time to gather, and Walsh nearly there with the miscontrol allowed DeMargo to sniff around for another chance. McKenna. Pass intercepted by Ilias. Shouts for handball as Tian McKenna brought that under control. Nothing doing from the referee. McKenna again. Wallhead. Lowry. Getting plenty of touches on the ball early. Hannah Lowry made that immediate impact when she did score a header on debut against Newcastle Jets. A 4-2 win in the Westfield W League. Fifth youngest starting debutant scorer in W League history as Templeman plays out dangerously, but it'll all work out okay. Cargill Fletcher, ball into the feet of Judy Connolly, leaves it for her teammate there, McKenna, who plays through Prinsloo once more, and they're really looking to exploit the pace off Prinsloo down that right-hand side. Now, Letitia McKenna's ball's a good one. Lowry gets her head to it, but she got under it a fraction and couldn't divert it towards the target. Just get the sense that the NTC are starting to turn up the pressure once more, but their hard efforts early in this second half have been more or less thwarted by that wonder strike from Campos, which came soon after that wall head equaliser. Ball had already gone out of play off the boot of Smith before she could keep it alive, and now McKenna, Lowry, Barrero, Green. Lovely control from Abby Green there, and brilliant footwork to disappear from Borman, but she gave the ball away cheaply, and then Campos, with a real taste for goal, decided to have a ping from about 40 yards out. It was an optimistic effort, and in the end, Templeman was able to get back onto her line without any real danger. A really good pace to this game tonight. You have to say most of these opening round matches sometimes lack a little bit of tempo. Both teams sort of working their way into the season, but this one's had plenty of pressing from both teams, and it's been a real impressive start from both these sides, you have to say. A great way to open the NPLW season. The first season of the new revamped Football West Women's competition. 8 teams in the NPL. 2 new licenses, one of them being Curtin this evening. Pass cut out there. Lowry lurking, and Green also trying to get in. Connolly. McKenna, lovely footwork once again. She's been outstanding at the base of that midfield tonight. Really good at keeping possession and showing composure and picking that right pass, as she's done once again. But the return to her from Wallhead was a little astray. Thankfully, Cargill Fletcher can pick up on the rebound, and now Prinsloo has stayed on side. She'll return for Cargill Fletcher, who'll look to wriggle away from Campos there, but she's fouled. And this will present another opportunity on this right-hand side for the in-swinging boot of Lowry to whip one in. Of course, the 8-team competition means a 1v4, 2v3 top 4 cup. And a final to follow. Lowry's ball in, a real teasing one. Flick on was a good one in the end from Dudek to get rid of the danger. And Walsh will win the race first. McKenna also back with her. Templeman will look to spread the ball out wide for Cargill Fletcher. Connolly opened the scoring in that night series semi-final, wins possession back. Lowry now feeds Letitia McKenna. Touch came off the defender and went wide to Prinsloo. Cargill Fletcher has been given a little bit of attention by Ilias there. Eventually the move breaks down for the visitors. Cavill using pretty of experience there to just slow the pace down a little bit. Both of these teams have put a lot of energy into this clash tonight. Van Herk intercepted, did well to win the ball back at the second time of asking, and then a late whistle from the referee. Did hear a clash of legs in there somewhere, but I thought Van Herk had won the challenge initially, and now Cargill Fletcher's ball. No teammate in the vicinity of that cross. It will give time for Campos to try and pick a way out of there. Pass once again, just a little heavy from Curtin though, who are just struggling to find feet as they come out of defence, and that's giving possession back to the NTC quite easily. Barrero. Green. Slalom run from Abby Green once again into the area, and a great save again from Cavill, who thwarts her for the second time tonight. It was a similar move. Green with that mazy run into the area, beating all oncomers. Cavill made the target as small as possible for Green to try and find, and in the end it was a brilliant save. Walsh's pass flags up on this near side. A little slow in getting back on side there was Green, and that'll be a relieving free kick for the home side, who have just dropped a little bit deeper in recent times, and as mentioned before, have just struggled to find those short passes out of defence under great pressure from the NTC. Nevertheless, they do hold a 2-1 lead though, and they're into the area again through Borman, who does well to win a corner. Well, that's what I thought anyway, but the last touch was off the winger. Nina Borman, of course, scorer of Curtin University's only goal in the night series, a top corner strike from about 30 yards out. If you've not seen it, jump on the Curtin University website because it's on there and it's an absolute beauty. But meanwhile, Prinsloo enters the area. She's got Lowry arriving, and Lowry side foots her effort wide of the target. That was a chance for NTC to level, and you would have expected Lowry to gobble that one up. Tried to pick out the bottom corner and just slid it wide of the upright. As Curtin turn to the bench. The second time this evening, and it'll be Penelope Clayton who makes way. Couldn't quite see the number of the fullback on that far side. We'll bring that one to you shortly, but meanwhile Connolly will look to bring Cargill Fletcher into the attack. Ball inside is intercepted by Campos, and now Gonzalez brings that down really well with some really nice centre forward play there. Ball looking for Borman, will just run away from her, and Barrero will get there first. Now Lowry looks to play Green down this left-hand side, and she's been bright all night down that flank. Cross may find its way through to Prinsloo. It's off the bar. Connolly can't get the header back on target. Didn't quite break to Lowry. And the clearance was by Jacqueline McLernan there, who was the player to come on there at right back. Cross again from Prinsloo. Header away from Van Herk. And then cleared once more by Campos. Curtin really having to weather a storm at present. Tian McKenna, Lowry, lovely football. Letitia McKenna, and wonderful defending from Natasha Smith to get her body in between the ball and the on-rushing Letitia McKenna there and snuff out the danger. Second substitute will be made by the NTC, and that foray into the penalty area will be the last that we see of Letitia McKenna tonight. And on in her place is Tanisha Baker. Lowry, great skill. Cargill Fletcher. Tian McKenna. Barrero. Green has moved into a central role to allow Tanisha Baker to play down that left-hand side now, it seems. Looks like a 4-1-4-1 now, with Tian McKenna doing the holding and Judy Connolly and Hannah Lowry earning a little bit of license to play with Green, who's that lone striker up top. So Curtin University 2, NTC 1. Balmy night here, a little south of the Perth city centre at the Curtin University campus. Jess DeMargo with the opening goal equaliser was a Isabel Wallhead header from a Hannah Lowry corner, but then soon after it was Tanya Campos who rifled in an effort from distance, and that was where Cargill Fletcher. Looks as though Tatiana Gonzalez is down receiving some attention, apologies, on that far side. McDermott. Green. Lovely 1-2 with Lowry. Into the area is Abby Green, and clearing away is Dudek. Shouts for a handball, was it? It was, and I think that was Abby Green whose hand it may have come off, and once again it'll be a very much relieving set piece for Curtin deep in their own half. Given the run that the NTC did make to get to the final of the night series, and given the W League players that were back in the team that missed out on that game, they would have been heavily fancied to come to the campus tonight and win here at Curtin Stadium, but it's the home team who've really made an impression on this opening night of the NPLW competition. Exciting times, of course, in the women's game, and obviously great to see some football out on the pitch. 3 games to complete the round this weekend. We'll tell you a bit more about those after this game's wrapped, but for now the NTC will be looking to try and get an equaliser. Touch from DeMargo was, in fact Campos, sorry, was a little heavy. Cargill Fletcher, McKenna, turns once more. Plenty of space on that left-hand side there for Tanisha Baker if it'll come to her. It does eventually. Vi Barrero. And the turn didn't quite come off on that occasion. It's Jacqueline McClernon who will just take her time over that one, and I imagine this one will go as far up the line as it possibly can. Good news that Sassiana Gonzalez is back on the pitch now, and She's immediately putting Templeman under pressure, but once again that pass from the goalkeeper finds feet, and now Cargill Fletcher comes forward. Connolly couldn't bring that under control. Cargill Fletcher might get it again. Didn't, and in the end it was put into touch by third and final change here happening for Curtin University. By the looks of it, it's Jess DeMargo who's gone off the ground, it seems. Maybe just a little bit of soreness at the back end of this. First came back. A really good shift from her up front, a real live wire, particularly in that opening 45 minutes where she played on the last defender and really used that pace to upset the apple cart at the back of the NTC defence, who were constantly put under pressure as they like to play the ball around.
Second substitution for Curtin. Coming off was Jessica DeMargo and replacing her with Pia Warlow. In the first substitution, we have Penelope Curtin coming up and Jackie McDermott going on to pitch.
Confirmation of the third and final change for Curtin tonight. Pia Warlow will enter the fray, and she'll come on in the centre of midfield for this final period of the game as Curtin University look to see out this 2-1 lead that they currently hold, a valuable one at that as well. What a boost to the season this would be for Morrison Dean and his Curtin University side in front of a good crowd here at Curtin Stadium. NTC may still have something to say about that though, as the weaving run comes through. It's cleared away by Van Herk. McKenna, touch for once was a little heavy, and clearing that one away was Katie McDermott. Tian McKenna. Wallhead. Exchanges passes with Walsh. And once more, didn't like the options forward of the ball, so they try and manipulate it sideways instead. Barrero does really well to skip past Borman at the first attempt, but the ball just got away from her. And it will be a throw-in once more for Curtin on that far side, so McClernand will get this one back into play. A flick on was in the direction of Gonzalez. Lowry tried to pick out Green. Green eventually wins the ball back. Now Tanisha Baker is released by Lowry. Green, touch a little heavy, slip there from Gonzalez, allowed Walsh to get there first. Now Tian McKenna. NTC just looking to try and probe their way through, but Baker was caught offside on that far side. Walsh. Wall had to be really quick there under the pressure of the approaching McDermott. Ball back in the NTC's grasp for the moment, but they're going to have to start moving it forward soon, you suspect. Time starting to tick down in their search for an equaliser. Connolly back to Wallhead. Walsh spreads the play for Barrero. Borman's getting across to close down. Barrero links up with Baker, who comes inside. Looks back for Wallhead once more. Patient build-up from the visitors. Ball forward released for Green. Flags up once again, though. And Curtin have done really well this evening to hold that line as straight as possible and catch the pacey attackers of the NTC offside at every opportunity that they've had. Dudek. Campos with a little bit of flair in midfield and striking from distance. Once again, trying to pick out the opposite corner this time, but Templeman was aware of what was going on and grabbed that at the second time of asking. Connolly. Prinsloo. Green's run forward. Ball looking for Prinsloo, but Campos stepped in. It's her decisive contribution that's put Curtin in front at this stage. Play continues as Lowry strikes, and it had Cavill scrambling across her goal for a minute, but it sailed wide of the upright, and now a little bit of concern for an NTC player who is down over here on this near side. It may be Monique Prinsloo, who went down under the challenge of Campos, I think. Both teams will take an opportunity to take on some refreshments while Prinsloo does receive that treatment. Prinsloo, of course, the very dangerous outlet on that right-hand side tonight, and also a threat in that night series final down that flank against Fremantle City, the winner of the under-23 Women's Premier League Golden Boot last season as well. So a real talented player, and Prinsloo's now off the pitch, but doesn't look good for her, unfortunately. I'm not sure she'll be able to come back on, so that's a blow for Prinsloo, who's looks really dangerous down that right flank, and Dylan Davidson's just waiting for the all clear to come on. She'll enter the fray now, and it looks as though she'll slot in on the right-hand side of this defence, and that'll mean that Jasper Cargill-Fletcher will push up and play on that right-hand side that was vacated by Prinsloo. Hopefully all is okay with Monique Prinsloo down there. We'll keep an eye on any developments down there. Barrero, dangerous attempted switch to play that found Wallhead eventually, who marauders forward. Lowry's ball was an incisive one, and it may just find Cargill Fletcher. It did, but Smith was there with a really strong challenge, and it was all ball from the full-back. Really good, strong challenge there. But NTC will get the throw in. Ball into the feet of Lowry. Clearance is made only as far as Gonzalez. It was McDermott who really fired that into the feet. And now Cargill Fletcher will find a bit more room down this right-hand side, but she's quickly closed down by Smith once more. Last touch was off the skipper and away for a corner. As a gust of wind comes through Curtin Stadium. It's Lowry's ball. It's Cavill who's under it, and the stopper was under no pressure from an NTC player there. Was able to claim that one quite easily in the end. Good news is Prinsloo's back on her feet just in front of us down here, and she's making her way back around the pitch. So that's really good news to see Monique Prinsloo back on her feet and moving in a little bit more comfort than what she did a moment or two ago. McKenna, Green, Tanisha Baker. Green's looking for the return pass. Baker comes inside. She'll now try and feed Green, who'd already made that run forward and was well offside as she went to receive the pass. So as vibrant and as quick as the NCC have looked, particularly in this second half as the tempo of the game's improved, they've just lacked that final ball. And you have to give a lot of credit to Curtin's defence as well, who've really held their line throughout, and they've defended pretty stoically for the time being, but there's still time remaining for the visitors to pinch an equaliser here as Lowry goes back to Connolly. Now Tian McKenna twisting, turning and looking to spread the play, but the interception was good from Smith, who read where that one was going. Connolly, Cargill Fletcher, Tian McKenna, Barrero, back for Walsh. Pass was intercepted by Jacqueline McKernan. Now Nina Boorman. Pass was into the feet of Abby Green, but Curtin once again managed to win possession back, and the challenge was a little late from Lowry there, perhaps in frustration, and that may just allow Curtin to take another minute off the clock. It'll be a monumental 3 points for them to start the season if they can hang on to the result here. Encouragement from the stands. Van Herk standing over the ball and delivering it upfield. Boorman. Warrilow. Battling for it in midfield. There once again was Boorman. Gonzalez nearly latched onto that, but her driving run was charged down by Walsh, and now pressure was on Green, but it was well won by Campos. Now forward the NTC go again. Tanisha Baker, Connolly, Visitors still probing, the home team dropping just that little bit deeper now, but well done by Jacqueline McKernan, who stepped in, apologies. Former East Fremantle and Fremantle City player. Lowry. Chance to work her way onto that left foot. It's a great save again, I think, from Cavill. I think the touch was off her and onto the bar. It was. That's a tremendous save from the stopper. And if that's the save that maintains the points for the host, it'll be a tremendous one worth winning any match. A little hold up once more. I think it's McClernand down on that far side in the right back position. Didn't quite get back to her feet. She's off the ground, so Curtin will have to defend this one with 10. It's Lowry's ball in. Through a sea of bodies once more. It'll end up with Barrera at the back post. Tipped onto the bar by Cavill once more. She's really standing tall in that goal and doing everything she can to keep these points for her team. A looping ball, well dealt with. Lowry's ball in again. Approaching was Wallhead, I think, who really stormed into that back post area where she's had success already this evening, and she just couldn't quite get the contact that she needed to plant the header into the back of the net. McDermott. Gonzalez. Lowry. Barrero. Last touch was off Boorman. It'll break to Baker, who'll skip past Boorman and make her way down this left-hand side. Still alive here for Baker, who makes her way to the byline. Can she keep it alive for Lowry? It's in the area. And across for Connolly, who'll slide in an equaliser. And that's a bitter blow for Curtin University, who've defended so heroically in this second half, but the pressure told in the end. Tanisha Baker made the drive down the left-hand side. The ball was pulled back for Lowry. A sea of bodies greeted her, but the ball made its way across for Connolly, who put into the back of the net, and a dramatic late equaliser here for the NTC, who will win the ball back straight from the kickoff and will look for more, but pass from Tian McKenna will run away from Cargill Fletcher. Tian McKenna. Dying stages of this game now. Smith's throw over the head of Gonzalez. Lowry punts that one forward, looking for the run of Green, who's not quick enough to get anywhere near that one, unfortunately for her, and Cavill will once again eat up a couple of seconds. Touch forward by Lowry, and Green was coming back from an offside position. Time still for Curtin, perhaps, as Van Herg will hoist that one forward. Borman will get on the end of it. She's in the area, turning, striking, and just wide of the upright. A half chance there for Nina Boorman, who scored the only goal of the group stage night series for Curtin University. Did well to wriggle her way out of a couple of challenges, but shot was unfortunately wide of the post for her. Still time for a winner, perhaps. Strong challenge from Smith, who's stayed down here and is looking in a bit of pain. NTC play on nevertheless. Baker. Strike will drift across the face of goal, and that should allow Smith to receive some attention. She was down in the first half as well, in the left back position. Really strong, committed performance from the skipper tonight. Strong and leading with every challenge that she's gone into, and looks as though she's come off slightly worse in a 50-50 challenge once more. Back on her feet again is Smith. McDermott will possibly cover in this left back position while Smith rests a little higher up the field. McKenna, Barrero, Lowry. Gonzalez. Pass was looking for Borman, but well intercepted by Barrero. And Green's gone a little early. It won't count if she gets there. She did get there before Cavill and poked the ball past the keeper, but nothing doing from the pacey forward. Linesman on this near side has had plenty to do this evening. From where I'm standing, he looks like he's got most of them right as well. Van Urk's ball forward. And that brings to a close a very competitive and exciting opening to the NPLW season here at Curtin Stadium. A 2-2 draw, and probably a fair result on the balance of play, even if the NTC did press and have the better of chances in the second half. It would have been harsh on the hosts to lose that after defending with such heart and such spirit throughout the contest. A 2-2 draw then. The opening goal scored by Jess DeMargo midway through the first half, capitalising on an error at the back, of miscommunication between goalkeeper and defender. The equaliser, a header just after the break from the corner of Hannah Lowry, who came on at the break and looked lively throughout. Isabel Wallhead got that equaliser, but soon after, a stunning goal really from Campos, who let fly from 30 yards, and it found the bottom corner of an unsighted Templeman's goal. And from then on, the home team dug in, grinded it out, worked so hard to hold on to that 3 points with the help of some great saves from Stacey Cavill, but a cruel blow late on, perhaps, as the ball broke to Judy Connolly in the area, and she pounced to give the NTC a 2-2 draw and a share of the spoils. So an entertaining night's football here at Curtin Stadium. A brisk evening and 3 games to complete the opening round of the Women's NPLW opening round. Fremantle City playing Perth Soccer Club at 1 p.m. The Northern Redbacks facing Subiaco, and Murdoch University Melville hosting Balcatta FC. If you can't get to a game in round 1, then all matches will be available to watch via live stream on the Football West Facebook page and YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us tonight, wherever you might have been watching. My name's Tommy Dolman, and we'll see you at a game very shortly. Good night.